Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm. Today we are going to put the Countyline tiller that we just got, that one, it's a 6-foot tiller. We're going to put it through its paces. We have our sunflower patch that needs to be tilled. If you've been following along, you might have seen that we plowed that and disked it and leveled it over the past couple of weeks, and now it is time for us to till it, and I'm going to let it sit another 2 weeks after this, let the weeds sprout, and then we're going to spray it, and then we'll be ready to plant. I also want to see how this tiller can do in some sod, in some unprepared soil, just cutting in through fresh soil and see how it is able to till that and to turn it into plantable soil. And I'm curious how many passes it's going to take in order to get it to go to its full depth, which Countyline says should be an 8-inch maximum depth. So follow along, it's going to be a fun one. As always, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you hit the like button on this one. If you want to see more of our stuff, hit subscribe. We're doing a lot with flowers this year because we're looking to kind of grow that as a revenue stream, both for choose and cut flowers, but also to have photographers out here at our farm as a photography venue. So we're doing a lot with our sunflower patch. I'm going to put some sunflowers up in a couple other areas of the property, and then we're also going to do a big buckwheat field, which should be really pretty for a late summer photo shoot. So anyway, that's a little about us. If you enjoyed this one, hit the like button. Let's get to work. So our future sunflower patch is looking pretty good now. I wanted to give you guys an up close of what this actually looks like all tilled in, and I want to see how those wood chips that were on top, and you know, we plowed it, so all the wood chips got kind of folded over with the annual ryegrass that was here. But I'm curious to see up close how many of the wood chips are really incorporated, or did they all settle down at a depth that was below what the tiller was able to mix up. So let's take a look up close here. So if we look at this here, I mean, it definitely got down a good, 6+ inches, which that tiller is supposed to get down up to 8 inches. But if we look at it here, I'm actually not seeing a lot of the wood chips. I think that, well, I mean, there's some, but I think the wood chips, they're either down deeper or they got incorporated really, really well so that we can't really see if they're here. I mean, there's some bits of wood. I expected there to be like real heavy evidence of the wood chips in here. There's a bigger piece. But I think, those wood chips were partially decomposed. So if the decomposed matter got well incorporated with the soil here, I'm real pleased with that. But I'm just curious. Oh, there you go. We get down further and it gets real firm under here. So that's as deep as we plowed. So all the stuff that we added with the annual rye and the wood chips, they're all in here, which is great. Pretty well incorporated, I think. So the number one comment I got from you guys about the wood chips that we added to this plot was, oh, decomposing wood chips are going to suck up all the nitrogen, and your plants either aren't going to do well or you're going to have to add a lot of nitrogen to offset it. I'm not disputing that. That might happen, but I thought the amount of wood chips that we added, once we incorporated it in here, we would have seen a lot more of that woody matter in the soil, but I'm just not seeing it. So it'll be really interesting to see how this all plays out in the next couple months as the plants come up here, whether they really end up being nitrogen deficient. I do plan on adding nitrogen in the fertilizer anyway. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. The Countyline tiller did great. Now I'm going to go test it out on a patch that is way at the very back. I've got a section in the back where I want to plant some other sunflowers. I got a big bag of the black oil sunflowers. So I'm just going to broadcast those out in a couple of different patches here and there across the property. And I've got a patch that I haven't plowed, I haven't tilled before, and we'll be able to see how this tiller does on just like virgin ground with just grass on it. So if it cuts through the side and gets down real deep and breaks up the sod really well, I'll be interested to see how that goes. So let's go do it. I'm in the area of our field where we planted our last Christmas trees last fall, and what we noticed when we were coming down this slope here is that the soil at the time it's clay and it was really wet, and we didn't want to plant trees in that wet soil. So now I'm doing work to try to improve the drainage over here, and we've come through with a subsoiler and put a number of rips in the soil and try to send water downhill. And now in these areas here, I've got trees over here, but I don't have any trees over in these. You can kind of tell where we started to prepare some rows last year for tree planting. Anyway, I'm just going to take the tiller down through this whole section and cultivate this for sunflowers here in a couple weeks. Well, it did pretty good breaking up the sod, but it only went down about 4 inches, if that. I'm gonna go back over this a couple times. You probably noticed I left a little gap in between these two rows. That's where we had a prepared Christmas tree row last year. So I'll go ahead and straddle these two rows, and we'll do a couple overlapping passes in here, and then we'll be done. Alright, let's inspect this now with a couple passes and see how much deeper we got here. It felt like it was going deeper. Oh yeah, we are down. Alright, there's where I hit where I scraped. So that is pretty much getting close to that 8-inch depth that the Countyline tiller says it can do. It might be 7, but it's close. And then under that I've got hard clay, which I've got pieces of it laying around all over the place up here. Look at this stuff. It's like Play-Doh. We can mold that. We haven't had rain in a while, but this clay is still damp, and we have lots of that to deal with on this property. So my plan with this is we're gonna let this sit for about 2 weeks. There's some rain coming in the next week, which is why I wanted to get this done. And over the next 2 weeks, any weed seeds that are here should germinate and sprout. We'll come back and spray all of those weeds, and then we'll put down our sunflower seeds right after that. And that'll put us middle or third week of May, and that'll put us right on timing for having sunflowers here at the end of the summer. The tiller did pretty well today. I am pleased. We've got a lot of work to do in the upcoming weeks to really put this plan for flowers this season into motion. So if you enjoy it, follow along. Love to have you follow as a subscriber. And if you like this video, hit like. Until next time, hope you have a good one. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.